What's up, you guys? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a specific industry that's going to be a little bit sensitive, let's just say. Some people are going to want to talk about it. Some people are not going to want to talk about it. Some people have good feelings or bad feelings against it. But nevertheless, whichever side of this topic you stand on, I do think that this is going to be one of the best investment opportunities that we may face over the coming years. There's a couple things I want to talk about, and we're going to jump into it right now. If you follow Jeremy from Financial Education, you might know of this as Jack Johnson. It's a little bit of a sensitive subject and topic, and I don't even know if I can talk about it here on YouTube, but we're going to do it anyway because I need to share my thoughts on this topic and get it out to you. So today what we're talking about is MJ. We're going to call it MJ. I think it's pretty obvious what this is. It's a illegal substance that could possibly become legal at some point in the future. Many states have already legalized this, and it is seeing rapid growth in those states. And we're seeing, a lot of data come out as to how it's helping with taxes, what the legal implications of it are, what the financial implications of it are, what the health implications of it are. And we're learning all of this information. And I think that with the new presidency coming into effect and the Democrats taking control of the House and now the Senate, and having a control basically over our political landscape for at least the next 4 years, or at least the next 2 years, I should say, but likely the next 4 years, I think there's a very good chance that this could be on the ballot at some point to be legalized. I don't think it's going to be in the next year, but I think it's going to be somewhere between years 2 and 3 that this could come up and say, hey, we need to make a change about this. This is something that's growing in popularity. I saw a report, I don't know, I'd have to look it up again on my computer, but I did see a report that somewhere between about 60 to 70% of Americans now support the legalization of MJ, and I think that it's growing in acceptance around the country. However, it is still illegal on the federal level. And therefore, this is causing a lot of limitations with these MJ companies that are out there. A lot of these companies are Canadian companies that have been producing a lot of this MJ. And in fact, they're having trouble because they have been producing too much MJ and they don't have enough demand and they can't offload it quick enough. A lot of these companies have been closing down warehouses, laying off employees, getting rid of product that's gone bad. They basically just can't sell it fast enough and they're overproducing. And this is causing them to suffer. Therefore, their share price is also suffering. And I've actually, looking back a couple of years ago, there was a huge craze in this space, and I actually bought into it. I was able to make a little bit of money. However, I bought back in as it continued to run up, thinking, hey, this might be the time where it sticks around. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I got caught left holding the bag on a small position. Not too bad. I'm not too upset about it, but I've continued holding that position and still have it today, and I've kind of averaged down, to be honest with you. My cost basis is almost back to where the current trading price is, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay holding this company that I have because I think it's going to be, a good long-term company to hold. So I actually want to show you guys some of the craziness that we saw going into the end of 2017 and into 2018 with these MJ companies. Let's go back over here to Webull, which, by the way, get your free stocks with Webull if you haven't yet done so. You can get up to 4 free stocks valued up to at least $21 after opening an account and depositing $100. There's a link in the description, so make sure you do that. Let's take a look at this. So this company here, Aurora Cannabis, oh shoot, I can't say that, right? Oh well, whatever. In 2016, 2017, it was just kind of trading flat, roughly around this $22, $23, $24 mark. Before, here in November of 2017, it shot up to $68 before shooting up again to over $124. This is a massive gain, like 6x right there, before kind of coming back down into 2018, shooting up again, coming down, shooting up again, and then has just fallen off, almost entirely until just this year. However, the thing that's important to look at here is you can barely see it here on my screen, but down at the bottom, you can see red and green little hash marks. This is the trading volume. If we zoom in over here, let's come down here. Take a look at how this jumps up. So basically everything over here is just kind of like flat, barely anything, right? Well, coming in here, you've got a little jump up there, kind of sold off. Right here, this is the election, right? People thought, hey, now might be the time that this is going to start increasing. Volume has gone up dramatically, and I think that's a very important thing to keep an eye on if you're going to be thinking about investing in some of these companies. Let's also take a look at Tilray. So let's go zoom out here. We're going to come here we're going to look at the 5-year chart. Look at this company back here. Went into the market in 2018. This is right where the ACB was also at that low point in the August timeframe. Shot up almost, what is this? It was at $24, shot up to $148. That's like a 6 or 7 bagger right there, and then it just sold off. Same thing here. Tons of volume here, really flat for the most part here. And then as soon as we got into 2020, we started seeing some more volume, volume compared to what it was earlier, but it's traded mostly flat. Not a ton of activity on Tilray until today. where it's actually shot up significantly. So going into the election, it shot up to about $9, kind of sold off, traded flat a little bit, and then now it's actually up 18%, selling at roughly $18. So this is kind of the story of a lot of these MJ companies. I don't want to, beat the bush on this too bad, but basically that's kind of what's happened with a lot of these companies. I think there's a big opportunity where this could be coming around, and who knows? It might be the time to get in. If you're planning to hold these for the long term, I think if you get in, you could get in some cheaper pricing now while there's not a ton of buzz and hype around this. And I think you could get in for a much cheaper price because as soon as they start talking about it, as soon as the government says, hey, we're putting this on the next ballot, we're putting this on the next measure for us to vote on or to look into, or, we want more research done, we're going to, maybe they start with declassifying it, right? Maybe they start with declassifying it from a Schedule 1 drug and bring it down to like Schedule 3 or something. If they do that, that's actually going to produce a lot of buzz and say, hey, if the government's getting on board with this, there's a good chance that this is going to be something that's going to run massively. These companies have potential to be billion-dollar companies, tens of billion of market cap for these companies. I don't know what the market caps are on these companies at this moment, but I do know that they could be much bigger. They could easily go up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times from where they're at right now. So I think there's a very good chance this could happen. And I think it's going to happen as soon as the government starts talking about it. And I think there's a pretty good chance that that will come up. Obviously, we need to get past the world that we're living in right now. We need to get past this pandemic. We need to get past this, presidential transition. We need to get past a lot of stuff. So I don't think it's going to happen in the next year. I think it's going to be pushed out till years 2 or 3 before we see anything actually come up and start talking about this, basically. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity because if the federal government does say, hey, we're going to declassify this and bring the classification down, that's going to open up the possibility to research this particular MJ substance. You're going to be able to research it and actually show that, hey, maybe the side effects are not as bad as we thought, or the health benefits are better than we thought. That right now there's very limited research on it because the government just won't allow it based on the current classification. So I think at the very least, that will definitely happen within 3 to 4 years. It will get declassified to a lower level scheduled drug. Also, if it does get legalized on the federal level, this is going to allow many more states to not feel the confines of saying, well, hey, we legalized it, but the federal government still says that it's not legal. This could be something that a lot of states look at in a positive manner and say, okay, cool. We've got a little bit more flexibility to do some things with it. Maybe they go from medical to recreational. Maybe they don't. Maybe they go from full illegal status to, full recreational. And that could happen fairly quick. I think that could happen within 3, 6, 9 months after the federal government says, yep, we're going to legalize it. I think there's a lot of opportunity. And like I said, if they open that up, that's going to allow shipping across the border. Potentially a lot of these Canadian companies would be opening plants here in America. They'd be opening distribution lines. Maybe they're shipping it in. I don't know what the rules of that would be. We'd have to wait and see, but that's going to open up a ton of opportunity. Also, they'd be able to ship it across state lines. Right now, even if you're in California and, you want to go to Oregon, I don't believe you can bring it with you. I think that because it's still illegal on a federal level, you're not supposed to anyway, cross state lines with this substance. You actually have to, even though you can go from one legal state to another legal state, you still have to buy the legal product in that other state. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't do that. I believe that's the ruling on that. If you know different or if I'm off on that, drop me a comment below. I'd love to learn more about that. Of course, I could look into it, but I would just like to know. But I believe that's the current standing. So if it does get legalized on a federal level, this is going to open up a ton of opportunity, especially along the West Coast, where a lot of these states have legalized it. Going from California to Nevada or California to Seattle or to Washington or Oregon, like any of these states. I mean, it's going to open up shipping lines, distribution networks. It's going to just allow the economies of scale and that capitalistic measures behind it to really take off and be able to, blow this industry out of the water. So I don't know, guys, I'm pretty bullish on this. I think this is a good opportunity. I think this could be the time to get in on a lot of these companies. Now, which company is going to be best? I don't know. That's a tough decision. You've got companies like Planet 13 who are absolutely killing it in Nevada with their store there in Las Vegas. And then, but they're kind of like a localized company, right? And then you've got other companies who are manufacturing the product or I should say growing the product and, are going more of a wholesale route per se. Such as ACB. Well, you've got two different routes of which way, who's going to win. I don't know. It's a tough decision. It's tough to call who's going to actually win with this scenario. But I think that's something to kind of keep in mind there is that maybe, hey, get some exposure to all of them. Get invested in a lot of these different companies because if it does go legal, it is going to run and it's going to run very quickly and very rapidly. If we jump back to the chart, I mean, you can see on that chart that it like 3, 4, 5x'd within like a month, 2 2 months, and it can sell off just as quick. Yes, that's true, but it can go up very quickly. And when it does, it's going to happen, and you don't want to miss that train. So I don't know, guys. All that being said, these are my thoughts on this industry. I think this is something that is just barely starting to get some traction right now. It's starting to, people are kind of catching on to it, thinking, hey, this could be the play. If you can get some money into this and you can 4x your money in 2 years, that's pretty dang good. That's a pretty, relatively safe play compared to a lot of other opportunities out there in the market. Obviously, it's not, there's still high risk and a high likelihood that might not happen, but for the reward, it might be worth it. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Give me a thumbs up here on the video if you enjoyed this content. Share it with a friend or a family member who might also be interested in the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your free stocks using Webull, link down in the description below. With that said, I'll catch you in the next one.